Hello, D-Scoopers. My name is Darren Painter, and I am the storyteller for D-Scoop. I am extremely happy to have met and be joined by James Nilles. James is the general manager of etiquette.de, which is part of CCL Industries. The company is a very successful and growing label provider in Germany. James, welcome.
Thank you very much.
I'm glad to have you. Yeah, welcome. Thanks. I'm glad you made it across the pond.
Yeah.
Your company is amazing. Anyone who goes to your website, I think, would see. We were talking before we rolled about how amazing like the beer bottles look and all of those products look online. There's so many different markets that you approach: beer, cosmetics, pharmaceuticals, chemistry. What is the secret to your company's success?
You see, the label industry is usually differently organized. So usually you are a label printer for a specific industry. So you are a food and beverage printer, or you're into pharmaceuticals or healthcare. But when you're online, you are basically talking to everyone. So our customer service team talks to a beekeeper. Then the next one who calls is maybe a beer brewer. The next one wants technical labels or something for logistics. So it's really, So you need to be very open to talk to everyone. And of course, we try to basically to produce everything the way the customer needs it, and but focusing only on digital printing.
Got you. Digital printing is a big technology for you, but it seems like there's a couple of things going on. It seems like your success is part that, part technology. Definitely your team, right? The idea of creativity comes through in a lot of these projects. Can you share with me the power of combining those two things, the creative juices of a person who has passion about the project, and also the capabilities, the digital know-how and the tech to get that done?
Yeah, sure. So in our organization, we try to have everything digital. So the printing is digital, but also all the process, everything is automated as much as we can. And when it comes to the creativity for the customer, there are different ways. So first of all, the customer service team, the one who really talks to the customer, he needs to know what's the need for the customer and that industry. On the other hand, okay, what can we do? How can we really bring him further in the label development? And then there are a lot of options in regards to finishing options. It really has to match the purpose. And we need to educate our team to really be always aware that new things are coming. And we talk about our design team as well. So they really play a very vibrant role in that.
Yeah, let's talk about the design team that maybe at the end of this conversation. But it's amazing the amount of things that people can customize on a label. It's not just like you're producing these on a press. You are, but there's foil stamping that you do. There's punching, there's varnishes. What part of a conversation with a client, triggers those moments when you're like, okay, we have this finishing project for you. Walk me through maybe the basics of those conversations at the beginning.
Mm-hmm. So basically, the website is designed that a customer can do everything by himself.
Awesome.
Yeah? So he goes to the website and he can just type in the label size, the amount he wants, the number of variations, and he can just check out. Yeah. But then when it comes to a bit more specific labels, so as you said, hot foil printing or hot foil stamping, and you can do it online, but it might be a bit tricky. Yeah. So the first reaction would be that the customer gives us a call, and then we can walk him through. And it always has to match the industry. It makes no sense to have a super high embellished label for just a carton label or logistics label.
Yeah.
So, but if it comes to the supermarket, or like a premium wine store, then you need to really stick out with a great design and also high quality printing and finishing. And we always try to find the right finishing option for the purpose. Yeah.
Someone mentioned you before this interview and said that you had was it a website or something about a bee? Something about bees. You mentioned beekeeper and it just triggered me. Do you know what project I'm talking about? Because I have no context other than it was awesome.
Yeah, okay. So that's actually an interesting story. So our main business is roll labels and a bit of sheet labels as well for all different kinds of industries. But there are industries that we used to talk to, and we always thought, oh God, they are so annoying and we can't help them. Yeah?
Right.
And with the top of the list is the beekeeper, because he called us and he said, not sure if it's the same here in the US, but in Europe it's a bit like a hobby, but there are a lot of people as well into, let's say, semi professional areas. Yeah? So they would need a few hundred labels. If it's professional, a few thousand, but usually they're asking for 50 labels.
Gotcha.
100, and as an industrial label producer, you think like, oh my God, no. So we had to turn them down. Yeah. So far too expensive. Then they want us to create designs and it just didn't match. And at some point we said, okay, let's find, we call it a satellite website.
Fun. Okay.
And it's called honeystickers.com.
Honeystickers.com.
And the customer can go to the website. He has very nice templates. He can play around. He can add his own design. He can change stuff. And we have really the materials only the beekeeper needs. Yeah. So really it's like 1 or 2, now maybe 3 materials, and not like in our main business where we have 20 different materials that serve all the different markets. Here it's just for beekeepers. Yeah. And it's
that is
basically
amazing.
It keeps the pain away from us
having to do it over there.
But for them it's a really nice and easy way to create their labels.
So hypothetically, if I had a daughter who played volleyball and I just talked to someone in the United States who was a beekeeper and might need labels, could they do it? Could they?
They can.
Do you ship across to the United States? Okay.
Yeah,
I'm going to tell them about your website. You're welcome. I don't want any commission. It's fine. No problem.
But you see, it's the first time in Germany, it's called etiquette.de for the German market. For the UK, it's label.co.uk.
Okay.
For Spain, it's etiquette.es and so on. And with this website, for the first time, we said, okay, if we do something, it has to be a .com, and then it can basically
anywhere. Perfect. I got to check it out. Let's talk about Germany. What's the label market like right now in Germany?
Also, the label market is super fragmented. A lot of small players, a few big ones, of course. We are part of CCL. It's a big group, but it is still very much the label industry. A lot of family-owned businesses, small businesses. We see a big trend, of course, in digital printing. So you can tell digital first is a bit the mindset, and last year was a bit challenging at least in the European labor market, but things are going well again.
Good.
So it's actually positive.
Good.
Times.
One of my relationships with labels is the wine aisle. My wife and I drink way too much wine, I think.
And you buy the wine based on the label,
100%
right?
we do. 100% we do. I mean, the price tag has something to do with it, maybe. We're not wine snobs. The pinky's not out all the way. Yeah. But I noticed that in the EU, there's been a couple of regulations lately that changed, like for the e-labels in wine. And I know that Germany had a different change. I have to imagine these impact opportunities and challenges for you. Can you talk to me about the impact of regulations, how you sort of stay abreast of all of them?
Yeah, so it's a challenge to really get all the regulations in the EU, especially as we have different websites all over Europe. And if you deliver to certain markets, you need to do your homework. It can be a challenge. Like the wine thing, it's something, okay, we are based in the wine area, so we heard about it from everywhere. So basically it is a new regulation that you always need to have the nutrition available. But it's a chance you can educate your customer as well. We invited them to an event to actually show them how it could look like.
Oh, that's smart.
So we try to really use it as well as a content to have something interesting to talk about.
Gotcha. Is it now a QR code, or is that?
You can print basically the stuff that needs to be shown on the label, on the back side of the label, but it usually doesn't look very nice. So that's why there are services, so you can provide a code which brings you to a website where it shows the ingredients.
So if a client wanted to make their label look nice and used you mentioned your design team and your design services. Can you talk about the people who do that for your company, their talent, their skill, and what they bring?
Yeah, sure. So we started we had the idea of a design service really in the early stages, but then we thought, oh, it's gonna be a tough sell, like to really, and we didn't want this noise of creating labels. We were always like, okay, this is the website, calculate, upload your file. Like technical stuff we do, if someone has a problem to set up a print file, we help him. There are packages he can book for that. But the design service was really, it takes you deep into the creation of the label and also a bit of the brand strategy of the customer. And but it's very interesting. And the way it works, you can book it as well online. Yeah, so you book the package for the design service.
Oh, interesting.
And then there is a real human being giving you a call and then getting a briefing. What is your idea? How should it look like? And then there are several rounds where they get maybe 2 completely different design options. The team tries to work a bit with AI, so Mid-Journey, to really generate labels. Let's as the first shot to show him like this is possible. And from there on, if he decides, okay, this is going to that direction or that direction, then they personalize it, let's say, by a human.
Gotcha.
So we try to really integrate, on one hand, the technology to create very nice labels, but on a cost-effective way. And then the big thing about is really integrating finishing options to make the label look very premium. And of course, in the future, so I would say 99% of the design service orders, the labels will be produced with us.
Right.
Not everything, but most of it.
Right.
And so we can really push the label to the direction so we can produce it in a very nice and efficient way.
Gotcha. Anyone curious about Mid-Journey, by the way, we have content on Mid-Journey. If you want to learn about that tool, we just did a session, I think, with the help of etiquette.de that will walk you through it. It's quite fascinating, actually, really. Last question. You're going back to Germany, you're on a plane, you're thinking about Edge Indie. If it went well for you, what has happened? What do you think you're going to take away? What's one thing you'd like to leave here, knowing or doing, or meeting someone?
Yeah, it's okay. I really try to be on top of the technology always. Yeah, to really look what's going on. So this is a great opportunity to talk to people in HP. Yeah, to really get to know people who are really into the developing of new presses and functionalities. But also, for me, it's the main reason is really the networking, talking to other printers to get the vibe, what's going on. There are sometimes really small things you take home. You think like, okay, yeah, this could work. So yesterday I saw some really interesting stuff when it comes to marketing, sales approach. So what could change in the future. But it's not that you come here and it's like the big thing, I haven't heard about, but it's really about building relationships. That's super important, and that's what Beescoop is about.
Well, I'm glad we have a relationship with you. It's been really fun talking to you, James, and thanks for doing this with us.
You're welcome. Thank you.